The early morning sun spilled weakly through the thin curtains of Clara Bennett's small kitchen. A faint hum from the refrigerator filled the silence. As she folded laundry on the table, tiny shirts belonging to 3 lively 6-year-olds who had filled her life with chaos and joy. The knock on the door startled her. She opened it to find the mailman holding a cream-colored envelope sealed with gold wax. The name printed on the front made her freeze. Andrew Bennett, her ex-husband. She tore it open carefully, her hands trembling. Inside, elegant script mocked her quiet life. You are cordially invited to celebrate the marriage of Andrew Bennett and Victoria Sinclair. Her breath caught. Andrew, the man who once promised forever, the man she had believed in when he had nothing, had found his perfect woman. Clara sat down slowly, staring at the embossed gold letters. It wasn't just a wedding invitation. It was a message. Andrew always loved a show. Back when they were married, she had worked 2 jobs while he chased business dreams that never seemed to materialize. When his startup finally took off, he became someone else, arrogant, dismissive, obsessed with money and image. One night, he simply walked out saying, "I need someone who fits my future, not my past." Now, years later, he wanted her at his wedding, to see what she had missed, to remind her she had been left behind. Clara stared at the invitation, then at the small framed photo of her 3 boys, the Triplets. They didn't know much about their father, only that he had been busy when they were little. Her sister Megan noticed the change in her expression when she read the letter. "Don't tell me you're actually going," she said, folding her arms. "Oh, I'll go," Clara replied quietly, "but not to see him. I'll go to show our boys what dignity looks like, even when someone tries to take it away." That night, after tucking her children into bed, Clara opened her laptop. She didn't have much, but she had earned the respect of people through her small event planning business, enough to rent a gown, a limousine, and a touch of confidence. She whispered to herself as she finalized her plans, "You wanted a show, Andrew. I'll give you one you'll never forget." The Rosewood estate shimmered in gold and ivory. Guests arrived in sleek cars, laughter echoing across the marble courtyard. Inside, the ballroom gleamed under towering chandeliers. Waiters carried trays of champagne while a live string quartet played softly. Andrew Bennett stood near the altar, charming as ever in a tailored suit. He scanned the crowd, his smirk widening when he spotted familiar faces from his old life, friends who once called Clara too simple. This was his world now. Luxury, success, and admiration. But there was one person missing. He checked his watch. "I hope she shows up," he muttered to his best man. "She deserves to see what she gave up." Moments later, the heavy oak doors opened. The murmurs faded. Heads turned. A sleek black limousine had just pulled up outside. From it stepped a woman in a breathtaking silver gown that caught the light like moonlight on water. Her hair was styled in loose waves, her makeup subtle but flawless. Her confidence radiated. It was Clara. Gasps rippled through the guests. Beside her stood 3 identical little boys, dressed in miniature tuxedos, each holding one of her hands. They looked around curiously, innocent, proud, and completely unaware of the storm they'd just stirred. Andrew's smirk fell. His chest tightened as he took a step forward. The boys, maybe 6 or 7, had the same piercing blue eyes as him. The resemblance was undeniable. "Who are they?" whispered Victoria, his bride-to-be, her smile faltering. Clara didn't glance at Andrew. She simply guided the boys to their seats near the front. The entire room buzzed with whispers. Someone whispered, "They look just like Andrew." Cameras flashed. Andrew's face turned pale. He swallowed hard, trying to compose himself, but it was too late. Every guest could see the truth he'd buried, the life he had walked away from. And Clara? She sat gracefully, a quiet smile curving her lips. She hadn't come to beg or fight. She had come to remind him, silently, powerfully, that real worth isn't measured in wealth or status, but in the love he'd thrown away. The reception was supposed to be perfect, a celebration of power and elegance. Instead, it buzzed with rumors. Every guest whispered behind manicured hands. Victoria's friends eyed Clara and her children, piecing together the truth Andrew had never told. Andrew approached Clara with forced calm. "You had no right to..." "To what?" she asked softly, looking up from her glass. To bring your sons? He froze. That's impossible, he muttered, his jaw tightening. Clara tilted her head. You think so? You left before I even knew I was pregnant, Andrew. You never called. Never checked. Never cared to ask. The words hit him like a slap. His gaze darted to the triplets in the same eyes, the same dimples. He didn't need a test to know the truth. Around them, the music faded, and the guests pretended not to listen. But everyone was listening. Clara stood slowly, her voice steady. You sent me that invitation to humiliate me. You wanted me to see what I lost. But what I lost was selfishness, arrogance, and cruelty. What I gained was everything you'll never have again. Love, laughter, and 3 beautiful boys who deserve better. Victoria's bouquet slipped from her hand. The photographer's flash popped. Andrew's world, his carefully built image, began to crumble in front of everyone. Clara gathered her sons. Come on, boys. Let's go home. The triplets waved politely at the crowd as they followed her out. Cameras caught every moment. The ex-wife's grace, the groom's shame. Outside, the limo door opened. Clara turned back once more, not with anger, but peace. She had walked through heartbreak and come out shining. As the limousine glided away, the guests whispered one last word that would haunt Andrew forever. Karma.